No explanation required. This is a funny one to do as a reading because how are you going to explain no explanation required, Kim? There are things that you are going to feel in your heart are correct. Every ounce of intuitive nudge, message, confirmation that this is the right thing, and you're getting stuck in trying to explain it to everybody else. The more explaining I'm doing, the less doing I'm doing. The more I'm defending myself, the more I'm questioning myself. The more I'm considering what other people think, the less I'm creating the thing. No explanation required. I mean, come on, how liberating is that? No explanation required. You never need to explain yourself again. There's a difference between sharing yourself and sharing your stories versus the need to explain yourself in an attempt to be understood. If you understand, you're good. When you understand you, you're golden. No explanation needed, no justification needed, no validation needed. Share only what you want and share with discernment and intention, and know that everything you speak, everything you think is a spell. And if they are in conflict, an attempt to be accepted or understood, only you lose because it tells God you're confused. No explanation required. No explanation required. Now, this is a funny one to do as a reading because how are you going to explain no explanation required, Kim? Really, though, no explanation required. This is one of the cards that I have been thinking about. It's been ringing in my head all day today and very much over these last week or so, which tells me it's like, okay, time to bring this one out. Clearly the girls need it. Welcome back to the Afterglow. I'm Kimberly, your host, and today we're doing a reading from the I Am Her Oracle deck. If you're a girl who loves intuitive messages, intuitive readings, you want to be empowered, step more into that next level, you like and subscribe with this video. I do weekly readings from the Oracle card deck that I'm creating all by hand and writing all by hand. And today, no explanation required is what's coming through. This is a card born out of the need for women to explain themselves when there actually is no need to explain yourself. This poem says it all. It's like, when you understand you, you're golden. And I think a lot of us being used to needing to justify ourselves, needing to explain ourselves, needing to back up our actions, choices, beliefs, behaviors with an explanation as to why, trying to get others to agree with us, trying to get others to see it from our perspective in an attempt for them to connect and understand. But ultimately, no explanation required. And I honestly don't remember what the scenario was which forced me, I say forced, which got me to draw this card. I drew this over a year ago, and I really, like, when I really think about doing this reading, it's a difficult one to do because no explanation required should mean that I don't even need to explain it to you. Sometimes words fail us. Sometimes this conversation becomes a little bit cryptic or a little bit like you need to read into this and decide what it means for you. Is there something in your life where you're over explaining? Is there something in your life that you feel the need to explain yourself and validate yourself in an attempt to get others to agree? Do you see yourself outsourcing your beliefs and opinions and your decision making to somebody else in your life by explaining yourself and trying to get them to come to the same agreement or the same awareness or same understanding that you've gotten to? I know I've done that in the past. I've needed my friends to understand me. I've needed my partner to understand me. I've needed my parents to understand me. I've needed my boss to understand me. I've needed the internet to understand me. And so I explain in an attempt to get you to agree or in an attempt to make myself agree with me. And sometimes, right, that's the part at the end. Everything you speak, everything you think is a spell. And if those two are in conflict, what you think and what you speak out loud are in conflict, it only tells God that you are confused, right? Or no, that's not how it goes. It goes, if they are in conflict in an attempt to be accepted or understood, only you lose because it tells God you're confused. again, sometimes we understand things in our own thoughts, feelings, body, intuition. We talked about this a lot in my video about gaslighting your intuition, because women do this often. We try to get other people to agree with us. We try to get our friends to agree. We try to get the world to agree by explaining ourselves. And then we somehow end up feeling like, wait, maybe my idea is wrong or bad. Or if they don't agree with me, or they don't understand why I'm doing this, then somehow that means that I'm not good enough, or somehow that means what I was going to do isn't working, isn't right, isn't the best path of action. But this one explains why no explanation is required, because it only tells God you're confused. If you can't channel in what your next best step or options are for you, if you're feeling lost and confused, and therefore you need to explain it to other people to get yourself to a yes, or get yourself to feel like that's the right choice or decision, or if you need to explain yourself anytime someone asks you what you're up to, what you're doing, why you're doing something the way you're doing it, if you are following a passion or you're going for something that's a little bit off the cuff, this idea of no explanation required really means like, no, you never need to explain yourself, babe. You never need to explain yourself. There are things that you are just going to know. There are things that you are going to feel in your heart are correct. You are going to have every ounce of intuitive nudge and message and confirmation that this is the right thing for you to do. And you're getting stuck in trying to explain it to everybody else. You're getting stuck in trying to validate why that is what you want, or why that is the thing you should go after, because you're still explaining yourself. You're explaining yourself. This isn't about getting everyone else to agree or understand. This is about when you have clear intuitive guidance, or when you have a clear intuitive knowing, or when you have something that lights you up, that you're passionate about, that you love, that you want to go after, no explanation required. Okay? No explanation required on any of your decisions. No explanation required on any of your next moves. No explanation required on why you declined. No explanation required on why you said yes. No explanation required on why you're going on that trip. No explanation required as to why you're quitting your job. No explanation required as to why you want to follow that passion or that ping. No explanation required. I mean, come on, how liberating is that? How freeing is that? How much does that make you feel empowered when you think, I don't need to explain myself to anybody. I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to validate myself. I don't need their agreement or their understanding for me to go after what I want. It's purely my intuition, my knowing, and my ability to say yes. And I find in my own life, I'll bring in some quick examples of this. When I first started to create this YouTube channel, it's a little bit different than the things that I have done in the past. I knew I wanted to share my art and my writing, and I knew I wanted to do a little more of these intuitive readings, and I wanted to show up and support women in a way that I had been doing in my coaching practice over the last 10 years. But that really was an entirely different business model, an entirely different approach. One, because I was burnt out, and two, because I needed something new and different. I couldn't quite explain it all the way. I knew that the coaching industry was changing. I knew that my desire and what I wanted to create was changing. I knew that I had enough to be able to put it all together. I had the gear from my previous podcast. I had the know-how. I had the desire to do it. And so here we are. What I found when I was starting to iterate and do it was that people were looking for me to explain myself. They're doing it in an attempt to connect. They're asking questions about what you're doing, what you're creating. They want to know more about what you're up to. They want to understand what is working for you. They want to know what's lighting you up. So sometimes when people are asking you questions about whatever it is that you're creating or doing in your life, they're doing it from genuine interest in an attempt to connect. What I find to be frustrating for me personally, or what I find to be challenging when I'm in the process of creation, I may not have the words yet for everything that it is that I'm doing. And I may not be able to explain it to you so that you understand. It's not about what I articulate or what I can get you to be enrolled in my vision. It's, I need you to feel me. I want you to see me in action. I want this to look and feel like once you see it, you know what it is, but it might look different than what you were imagining. Or when people ask questions to get more details and get more clarity about whatever it is that you're working on, or whatever it is that you're creating, or the next thing you're going to go after, or the next thing you're going to do, Sometimes they're really just curious, and it doesn't need to be this, oh, I need to defend myself, or I need to get you to understand me, or I need to let you in on what I was thinking about why I did whatever I did, or the justifications for why I did whatever I did. If you don't agree or you're not in alignment with that decision-making process, I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to explain myself. No explanation required. How freeing is that? And so I personally, and I'm sure you can relate to this, when I have an idea, a vision, an action, a hunch, an intuitive hit about something that I want or something that I'm going to go after or something I'm going to create or do, there are times when I can't explain it to you. I can't explain it. I don't have the words for it, or I don't have the full idea yet. It's still in the oven. It's a half-baked recipe. I'm a good cook and I know it's a good recipe, but like it's not all the way there yet. And so I can't explain it to you. Or you don't have the knowledge or experience that I have around a certain thing. So how could you understand where I'm coming from or what I'm doing? So no explanation required. No one has the same lived experience as you. No one has the same goals, aspirations as you. No one has the same day-to-day life that you do. No one is able to hear and feel inside your head or inside your heart. So no explanation required. Let's go back to the poem, because I always find that sometimes we need to clarify as we're going through these messages about what I wrote and the intention of what I wrote. There's a difference between sharing yourself and sharing your stories versus the need to explain yourself in an attempt to get them to understand. If you understand, you're good. When you understand you, you're golden. Because if you're so focused on trying to explain it to everybody else and you're so focused on trying to get others to agree with you, where are you at in that conversation? The only person who needs to get it is you. You never need to defend yourself. You never need to explain yourself. You never need that external validation. Only you know what's best for you. So no explanation required. And if we go back to the card, I also like to go back and reference these. You can take a look at it and see that it's a big no symbol, and this girl's kicking her feet up in the corner right here. She's kicking her feet up. Her feet are, she's like up and relaxed. That's my Pilates ability to do this in a stool. She's got one hand up behind her head like that. Like she's truly relaxed, kicking her feet up, chilling. And her third eye is illuminated because she knows, she sees, she understands. She's relaxed. She's chill. She's owning it. She's seeing the vision, she's feeling into it, and she's imagining it get bigger and better and more full. And she's chilling, feet up, relaxed, because she doesn't need to explain herself to anyone. She doesn't need you to get it. She doesn't need you to validate her. She doesn't need you to come in and say, oh, I think that's a great idea, you should go for it. She also doesn't need you to question her. She doesn't care. She's chilling. She's tuning into her own vision, her own third eye, her own experience of what she wants to create and feel into, or what she wants to do, or what she did. She's relaxed, kicking her feet up, celebrating the result of what she did. There's a lot of different ways we could interpret this and feel it. And when I say she, I'm talking about her in the card. That's you, babe. That's you, because this is the I Am Her Oracle deck. So these are meant to represent you and see yourself as that character. See yourself as that. Can you kick your feet up and relax and envision what it is that you want to create or what you're doing, or feel more deeply into it without any pressure to explain yourself or get anyone else to understand? Because what I found is that the more explaining I'm doing, the less doing I'm doing. The more I'm defending myself, the more I'm questioning myself. The more I'm considering what other people think, the less I'm creating the thing. So no explanation required. Stop trying to explain yourself and stop trying to wait for other people to get it. Just go do the thing. Go do it. If you're loving these messages, please like and subscribe to these videos. I'm having so much fun creating them for you, creating these conversational videos, as well as creating the cards and writing the poems. This is a real inside look into my life, my thought processes, how I make decisions, my mindset, my ability to build my own confidence, create the life I love, and become her. Because when women do that, when we tap into our own intuition, when we pay attention to our thoughts, our stories, our feelings, our beliefs, and we examine them, and we get closer to our intuition, we become powerful, amazing, magical women. You become her, the her you want to be. So enjoy, like, subscribe, share with a friend who needs help because she over explains, or she has a tendency to explain, or she feels like she needs to. She'll benefit from this video and she'll thank you. So that's all. Okay, love you. Bye. Okay, love you. Bye.